I can tell this game's gonna be divisive. So here I am, apparently important enough to get an early key from Bethesda to play the newest Doom game, and just like last time, I upgraded my PC for it. This one doesn't have any parts of John Romero's hair or anything weird like that, except maybe the new liquid cooling system I had to install that uses the spinal fluid of hypoxic child, something to do with the lower oxygen content and the low flammability, I don't know. This isn't really my area of expertise, but the Department of Special Corrections doesn't skimp when it comes to Doom videos. The third entry in this new trilogy of Doom games surpassed my expectations because I didn't really have any. I mean, this whole over-the-top heavy metal vibe we've been riding since Eternal kinda burned me out. Like, it's a lot, right? Doom guy riding a dragon is a lot. So I wasn't entirely convinced that Dark Ages would live up to the pedigree of a Doom game. I remember saying that they'd gone as far with Eternal's combat as they could, and I guess it agreed with me because this game is mostly different. Oh, god, yeah, okay, something I can actually bitch about. I'm getting my big major complaint about this game out of the way now. You guys remember how that Indiana Jones game came out and it was cool and also had performance and crashing problems because it mandated that you use RTX? That is apparently now standard for id Tech games, with Dark Ages running on the fancy new id Tech 8. Now, don't get me wrong, both games are very pretty, and I'm really enjoying the short to non-existent load times on PC for something that looks like this, but also I don't think this game looks much better than Eternal. RTX is a hack that cuts your performance in half for a negligible improvement of visual fidelity, and I'm worried that this is becoming the standard. I remember when graphical leaps happened every generation, like go from Quake 3 to Doom 3, a similar 5-year gap between games, and you can see improvements across the board. Now it's just, I guess you can see farther and the levels are huge, but like, is it really worth it? Hello, my name is Ryan, I am 8 years old and I have COVID again. RTX hurts, where am I? Oh kid, I have some bad news. Listen, id Software, is torturing this child and harvesting a lethal amount of his spinal fluid really worth marginally prettier lighting? Stop forcing RTX. For the children. No, wait, Katie, cut all that. I'm gonna look like an asshole. All the marketing made this look like it was gonna be a Quake game, and it is absolutely not. I kinda wish it was, but what we got is still really fun. Oh, you know what? Never mind. The graphics boost is necessary for that sweet-ass pelt the Slayer's wearing. What kind of animal even is that? There are medieval trappings all over the game, but that does not make it Quake. Nor does it make it Doom, but I'm still treating it like Doom and jumping right in on ultra-violence. There are 6 skill levels here. For some reason, they replaced I'm Too Young to Die with Aspiring Slayer, and there's a new one called Pandemonium. Each one gives you a quick summary of what you can expect. Don't worry about that parry window thing, we'll get to that. And if you want to customize the experience so that the game isn't even remotely fair, you can do that too. I expect someone to do a 100% speedrun with all these sliders maxed out. Now that the Doom Slayer is a superhero rather than a marine, you might be thinking this doesn't look like a Doom game. That, and based on the intro where there's dragons and the imps have hair, hairy imps! We're getting closer by the day to furry shamblers.
We will not leave here until the heart of Argent is found.
Oh, okay, Argent. We're back in Doomland. This is Argent Dunno, which we've seen before. In Hell. See, Dark Ages is a prequel, so all these people in the opening cutscene are dead. Who is this, Commander Theory? Yeah, she's part of the Night Sentinels. She's so dead.
Launching the Slayer in 3, 2, 1. Release.
Oh, finally. It's been 3.5 minutes and we haven't been killing anything. That's not very Doom of you unless you're playing Doom 3. Right. Shotgun, shield, superhero landing. The shotgun absolutely wrecking shit, 100% Doom. The player speed, not so much. You move like a tank. Your footsteps are heavy and you have a sprint button, but I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Fuck that. When you sprint, you get your motion lines, and I kinda hate them. You need to sprint jump to get any kind of distance, so here's what I did. Auto sprint on, like it should have been in the first place, screen effects off, FOV to 110, and classic HUD face, and we're golden. Now it feels right. The game's marketing says stand and fight, and they want to lean into that, which is fine, no complaints from me. I was hoping they'd shift away from Eternal's Adderall-fueled rampages, and I played this game directly after Viscera Fest, so I wasn't looking for another game like that. Melee has become a much bigger factor in this whole thing because of the shield and your new, honestly fucking awesome tools. Gauntlet? Yeah, I was expecting that. Punching, some light combo mechanics, bashing things for ammo, great. You will never be low on ammo in this game, it just doesn't happen. The first few stages where I'm getting my bearings and learning how the game works is easily the worst part. I don't think it's reflective of what the game is past the first few levels. There's been a deliberate push to make the battles feel more organic and less painkillery. By that, I mean enemies aren't always just teleporting in from nowhere, the environments are highly destructible. Highly destructible? Yeah, Doomslayer's a tank in this one, and they make you feel like it. I spent more time than I'd like to admit doing this. For people who keep saying that glory kills are gone, you're wrong. They're just kind of downplayed in favor of not stopping the action for them. And there's glory kills every time you kill one of the extra large armored demons that give you health, ammo capacity, or armor upgrades. Jesus, look at it. Your melee attacks have splash damage. Tankiness extends to combat in a way that is so over the top that I can't believe they made it like this even in a Doom game. When you bash something with your shield, don't get confused, that's dropping a bomb. Any squishy enemy around you explodes into gibs. To answer the question at the top of this chapter, yes, this is still very Doom. Even if it is a little slower than last time and the imps have hair and you get nail guns instead of machine guns, they're not Quake nail guns like at all. I think the first few levels of Dark Ages aren't really reflective of what comes after, and they even started to turn me off a little. I mean, a turret section in a Doom game in 2025? Get the fuck out of here with that. Is it a better game than Eternal? Yes and no. It's more a matter of personal preference. I think Eternal had tighter and more focused design. Even if I didn't care for the constant weapon swapping required to play on higher skills, that's not a design flaw because they implemented it with the care of id Software. And the worst game that id has put out in the last 30 years is Rage. Just imagine that a game with good gunplay and a shit ending with only vague gestures toward being open world is the worst thing your studio put out after defining an entire genre. These first few levels are significantly less fun than the ones that come after, and I get it, the game needs to teach all of the new mechanics because every Doom game is a different flavor now. 2016 was vanilla, which is insane to say in hindsight, and Eternal was like flamin' hot. And this is closer to chocolate, but they've all got a special sauce, kids. 2016 had sheer brutality and unchecked power fantasy. Eternal had speed and ridiculously tight combat. Dark Ages has the shield. The shield saw, which I was convinced was more of a gimmick in the promotional material, is absolutely integral to the combat of Dark Ages, and I absolutely fucking love it to death. It lets me enter arenas like this. I was worried about the lack of an actual chainsaw until I watched this thing slice off a demon rider's face. Oh yeah, pinkies are horses now. Sure, why not? The first levels of Dark Ages do not prepare you for what comes after. Sure, they teach you how to use shields and do parrying, but you are not ready for the carnage you can inflict with this thing. Dark Ages doesn't throw one or two shielded enemies at you. They throw squads of them at you. And the ones without electric shields that explode from plasma fire instead have shields you have to superheat with gunfire before... Jesus. And as crucial as parrying ranged attacks is, melee ones become just as dangerous later when the new barons are introduced. Melee attacks from different demons have different timing, and the new barons have one of the more difficult patterns. But once you learn it... The shield is always in play. It's always worth using. A successful parry will slow down time, or holding the shield throw button will also slow down time, Or not if you just tap it, which is good too. I haven't even gotten into the upgrades. They're basically for when you want to parry a ranged attack, but also send absurd amounts of pain back at your attacker. And okay, not every one is better than the last, because wedged in between magic homing daggers and practically being the god of thunder, you have a turret. Yeah, I didn't use it much because... And it's not just for parrying, throwing, blocking, and tenderly caressing when I'm lonely, it's for movement. I like using it to get out of sticky situations by locking onto a faraway zombie and basically translocating into a cloud of gibs. And health. There's no point in this game that the shield feels like a gimmick. It's woven into the combat so well that once you have the hang of it, you'll be using it as much as anything else. You can toss the shield into your enemies to stun lock them. It just sticks out of their chest and carves them up for you to shoot them. The game balances the power of the shield by throwing armored enemies at you in increasing numbers as it goes on, and having Revenants straight up dodge a shield throw, which... No, fuck you, take your medicine. Yes, the game has other melee weapons too, your vanilla punch, a flail, and a mace, and they all get upgrades. Everything gets upgrades. Let's talk about the weapons. It's an id game, so the weapons are incredible even if I think there's too many of them. Yes, I think there are too many weapons. Not like there's too many by number, more that the new system we have here is weapon classes. So you've got 2 shotguns, 2 nail guns, 2 explosive weapons, 2 plasma guns, 2 skull crusher weapons. Okay, so skull crushers are... self-explanatory. But you don't really need 2 of them. Like 2 shotguns, obviously, the super shotgun, which I let out an embarrassingly sexual moan when I picked up. Oh! Damn it, you were recording that?
Moan sample collected.
We're opening the OnlyFans, Civvie.
And made sure to collect the skin to turn it gold because Doom's double barrel is royalty. And the regular shotgun, while solid, really shines when upgraded to have a rapid-fire 3-shot burst that sets things on fire. Holds its own against the SSG. But the Skull Crusher, well, one is more accurate than the other one, but they look so damn similar that I would often switch to one and not the other. The plasma guns, like the bigger one, has 2 barrels, and the spike weapons do rapid fire and single shot respectively. See, your spike weapons take the place of your light machine gun class, and the Skull Crushers take the place of your heavy machine guns. I didn't get a ton of use out of the powerful spike weapon, which is fine because this isn't eternal. Certain weapons do work better for different situations, but you aren't forced to, let's say, use a shitty microwave beam no one likes to deal with some ghost enemy. It takes a lot more practice than I've had, but in short, there's animation canceling from stuff like shield bashes. It isn't required, obviously. It's there for people who want to use it. Instead, you're given more freedom to experiment, which I'm all about. So I was using the plasma gun, skull crusher, and shotguns a lot. The explosive weapons feel a little underutilized since you're focused on stand and fight. That means close combat. The grenade launcher is a welcome addition, and I used it more than the rocket launcher because the launcher's upgrades are a little less fun than cluster bombs dropping from half of your grenades. Then there's the chain shot, which gets its own slot all by itself. Good weapon, fun to use, nukes armor nicely, but I didn't use it as much as I'd like. It has a charged attack, and I really should have upgraded it sooner to have the explosive blast when it hits. It's not like the weapons are bad, but I didn't touch the first plasma rifle again after getting the bigger one. Hardly ever use the spike weapons, and now that I think about it, I hardly use the BFG, which is now a big fucking crossbow. Is it cool? Of course, but I saved it for when I was kinda done with an encounter and I didn't want to fight yet another cyber demon. Yeah, cyber demons are fairly common in this one, and while I couldn't humiliate him at first, those little spikes that he raises in the arena and his constant bullet attacks, oh, I don't like him, but I was persistent. Yeah, that's right, run away, bitch!
Snatch pebble from hand.
Like, obviously the game is gonna shine in the combat and the weapons, it's an id game, that's what we're here for. No, it's not as tight as Eternal, and it is noticeably easier. Ammo isn't hard to find, and I usually had whatever ammo I wanted to use. The demons are mostly familiar, with a few exceptions. The barons that people online thought were shamblers look different, but act kinda like souped-up Hell Knights. When I say it's easier, I mean that those Hell Knights can be parried in melee, or, you know, parried with white-hot buckshot. You're slower in this game, sure, but when you're really into it, when you've got it down, you are an immovable wall of death. And around level 5, oh baby, Dark Ages comes into its own. This is the most classic Doom feeling of the new trilogy. So you're hanging out with the Night Sentinels, and their city's getting attacked. So they send you out alone to the battlefield to defend it. Before this, you've been trudging through mostly linear levels learning the ropes. Then you're let loose on a massive, open, non-linear level packed with secrets and arenas, and I think this is where the game refines the mechanics of this new trilogy the most. Instead of locking you in a room with demons, you charge into areas and wreck shit. Oh, is that a tank? One parry turns it into scrap. It feels more organic than locking you in a room and teleporting demons in, which the game does still do sometimes. Specifically in challenge rooms that are marked by gore nests, so when you approach a gore nest thinking it's just part of standard play, well, no. And they're not going to kick your ass like Slayer Gates in Eternal. Usually. Although they're the hardest fights in the game and were responsible for most of my deaths. I wasn't really breaking a sweat until I got to hell. Yeah, spoilers, you go to hell in a Doom game. Also, spoilers, I'm pretty sure I made that joke before. And I got to this part here and found what people online are apparently comparing to the Marauder, which is fair, I guess, since you spend more time dodging and parrying than shooting. This is the Agaddon Hunter, and his parry timing fucks with me for a while. I mean, look at this. Ugh. I'm not usually driven so strongly by hate that I want to humiliate a demon, but oh, this son of a bitch. And also, what happened to the Cacodemon? It looks like an octobrain, and acts like one. Oh, it's a Cacodemon hybrid with an octobrain. At least they ditched the pain elementals. So you most certainly do very classic Doom things in Dark Ages. One of those things is secret hunting, which, I mean, it reveals where everything is on the map, so the hunting part is kinda downplayed. I didn't find a dope fish, and if there was one in here, I'm deeply ashamed, and if there wasn't, I'm deeply offended. Secrets are good for finding collectibles, codex entries, and most importantly, upgrades. Upgrades can be purchased with gold, better upgrades can be purchased with gems, even better upgrades can be purchased with wraith stones. Secrets aren't always just a room with some goodies. You can find combat encounters, and some of them are classic Doom as all hell. Okay, so life sigils, which are extra lives, like in Eternal, although you really don't need them as much. Here's one in this secret. And then, in the most Doom 2-ass trap, it spawns like a dozen Hell Knights. You're likely to lose the life sigil in this trap. I didn't, but I had the biggest grin on my face when I saw what the game was doing. Let's fucking go. I guess this all ties back into the level design, which is really cool. The secrets aren't all like this, but oh, the places you'll go. Big castles and tech bases? Check. Some sort of graveyard for wooden ships? Double check. Maybe my favorite area of the game. Waking up Cthulhu and then going inside of him to deal with his incredibly caustic stomach acid in the most obnoxious challenge room? Check, I guess, though I didn't like it as much as the other levels. Dark Ages levels are at their best when you're dropped into a big open battlefield and left to do between 2 and 4 things before it lets you leave. like the siege level from before, hell, and something I'll get to more in spoilers. Little nooks can lead to whole-ass areas with battles of their own. What the game lacks in verticality, it makes up for in all-out ground warfare. The fact that this game runs as well as it does with RTX forced on is another example of id Software's technical wizardry, which still persists even without former id co-founder, time-space tinkerer, and incorruptible avatar of human technological achievement John Carmack. If they actually port this to Switch 2, I will be genuinely surprised. So let's dial it back a bit and talk about the handful of levels that aren't straight up battlefields. Oh yeah, because we've got okay, I was wrong about the shield saw, but I was also pretty skeptical of the dragon riding and mech combat I saw in the trailers. Doomslayer riding a dragon around is so absurd that it borders on camp, and hopped the border like it was being chased by rabid dogs during the Ancient Gods, but I love the dragon. I don't love the parts where you have to lock in, dodge, and shoot down hell ships, which is really not that interesting. But when you're just flying around shooting stuff, it works. The way the dragon levels work is that you get to fly around in a big area and land places, do some battles, get back on the dragon, and repeat. It controls well and is fun. The mech combat is a little different because you feel even more like a tank and engage in slower, more deliberate kaiju battles. Doing perfect dodges is the name of the game with both the dragon and the mech because they'll power up your attacks. And you'd think you're just punching things in the big robot, but now you get guns too. A chain gun, and then oh my lord, that is the biggest shotgun I've ever seen. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but the stomping of ant-sized enemies on the ground and the complete destruction of pretty much everything in your path feels kind of light and not very impactful. I guess kicking over cardboard boxes isn't very impactful either. I think only 5 of the 22 levels here use these mechanics. I was shocked at that kind of restraint. They come in, do their thing, and go away. The mech stuff feels easier than the rest of the game, even towards the end when they throw lots of enemies at you. So at its worst, meaning the first few levels, Dark Ages is a decent shooter with impressive technology that they've been improving with each of these new installments. At its best, your shield bombing onto the battlefield is a debatably human Swiss Army knife that leans a bit heavy on the can opener. But I was having a blast. I was running around pumping my fist and shouting, "Who wants some wang?" while I tossed my shield around like Captain America if he was actually serious about defeating Hydra. The ripping and tearing is more than serviceable and occasionally orgasmic. In terms of design, I'd say this one is better than 2016, but maybe a bit below Eternal, which, yeah, people are going to be mad that it isn't more like Eternal, whatever, it still kicks ass. With all that said, it's time for spoilers, because this game has enough plot and surprises for me to actually have that. There is a story to this game that's probably a little more involved than 2016 or Eternal. A little, marginally. I don't care what's going on. We've got 3 major players here. The Makers, who suck, the Night Sentinels, who are bravely fighting for their survival against the demons, and Hell, which for once gets a real demonic villain instead of some corrupted human antagonist. He comes in the form of Prince Azrak, who would be an intelligent villain if he didn't keep trying to kill the Doomslayer. Dumb, awful move. Don't fuck with this guy. Did you see what he did when you killed his pet rabbit? And that was before he had superpowers. In this timeline, this is after he kills the icon of sin and the mother of all demons, so I guess he hasn't killed God yet.
All the power of hell, cowering before one man. And a heart of argent gives us the power to conquer the beast.
He's after that MacGuffin, right, which needs to be powered with the ancient Sentinel stuff that lives inside Commander Thera, who is the daughter of Night Sentinel King Novik, this big burly Viking dude. Helping Prince Azric is the Witch. No, that's the only name I have. And she does some magic to trap him sometimes so that Azric can survive until the end. The Makers, who apparently hold the Slayer's leash in this game, well, if you played Eternal, you know they're dead. And if you thought Khan Maker was an easy name to make fun of, get ready for...
Commander!
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding.
There's no return from greed.
The village of Kalim is a mining settlement. If it falls, everything will be destroyed,
Right, sure.
including your Sentinel energy reserves.
Launch the Slayer.
He's in charge of all Doomslayer-related deployments, and maybe he's shafting the Night Sentinels a little bit by holding him back. He's also more concerned about the flow of energy to the Makers, because without the UAC, we still need a greedy, corrupt businessman in there somewhere. He's helping Hell for... reasons. I guess once he gets stuck in a foreign realm and he has nowhere else to turn, that's when Azric gets to him. But he kills 10 possessed Makers before hearing him out, which seems like a lot until you realize that you kill 10 things simply by entering arenas.
I can help you target her location. And the Slayers, using the tether.
Yes. That would be most useful.
Like, they got Deborah Wilson to voice Thera, and it's nice that she got a paycheck, but she's hardly got anything to do.
She is the heart of Argent.
Oh, okay.
She's the Firehawk.
Then why didn't she use her sorcery against us?
The true scope of that human's power is unknown to her.
I feel like we spend most of the game chasing after Thera and trying to save her, and I'm just gonna come out and say it, I don't care about this story at all. It exists to stop the Doomslayer from killing everyone from the start. They just send a giant tentacle through a portal to grab Thera. After we fought through the Lovecraft dimension, Thera's Sentinel spirit stunlocks Doomslayer so Azrak can get a word in.
The Sentinels know so little about themselves. She has the spirit of an ancient Sentinel god within her. A wraith who are descendants of this realm. Here her energy becomes fully realized. We should kill him.
Okay, smartest character award goes to Creed Maker. Who would have thought?
Quit winning.
This is coming from someone who earlier witnessed the Doomslayer break through some of his control by getting really angry. Yeah, if I knew he was preventing me from playing that awesome siege level, I'd be pissed too. He's about to rip an implant off a suit that looks like it's gonna bring the whole ship down.
We'll need something more permanent.
More permanent than death? Wow, surprisingly good long-term planning. So they do the thing that probably won't work, which is stranding him in a magic trap. This is before Doom 2016, so they don't know that that isn't gonna work.
Rip and tear until it is done.
Oh, he's gonna rip something. He pulls that thing out and it kills 3 giant monsters, and so he falls into nasty green shit and dies. Yes, he dies, and it is most definitely not permanent, because he gets back up sometime later and then, swear to God... And then John was a zombie. Just like Rip and Tear, this is canon now. Oh my god, look at his mugshot. The game gives you Berserk now. Dying only made him angrier. He loses none of his abilities. Now he has to fight his way out of the spirit realm and does the most Doomslayer thing on his way out.
Payment required.
The man is untouchable. The Sentinels bring him back, and the next time you see a cutscene, he's landing a cybernetic pet dragon on Creed Maker's ship.
Prince Azric, please, help me. I could still be of service.
Not when I'm done with you.
I'm worth more to you alive than dead.
Who are you talking to? This is a Doom game. I don't even waste a life sigil on this clown.
Wait! Thera. Azaric is keeping her alive on his ship. If she dies, his power would die with her. I can take you to her.
Sure. Or... Someone forgot this was a Doom game. After that, we grab a super mech, punch kaiju demons, fist fight an elder god. And then finally, Prince Azric comes out to play, by which I mean Slayer purposefully exits his giant mech and he's somehow more intimidating. I'll give him credit, his parrying patterns are a bit hard to get used to. And when you attempt to glory kill him, he tosses you off. Then he's all like,
Hey, wait a minute. You're right. You made me bleed my own blood.
and I go through the trouble of killing him and he impales me in a cutscene. Bad form, also probably not enough to kill the Slayer. Again. Then, abandoning all survival instinct, Azrak kills your pet dragon. If you thought Doom Guy got mad when you killed his bunny, what do you think killing an awesome cyber dragon is gonna do? Demoralize him? No, he doesn't pay any mind to the idea of killing Thera to get rid of Azric's power, because that would be listening to someone else instead of beating the superpowered demon himself and ripping the heart of Argent from his chest.
Are you all right?
I am.
Good, that's settled. Then this game has the balls to call this level the final battle, and then have another whole-ass giant open level in hell where you chase Azric again because he disappeared after an explosion blew you 10 feet away from him. This is the luckiest demon ever. You know, until... Knock, knock, dickhead! This is a much easier fight, until... Oh man, really? He's right there, he's almost dead! And when that ship crashed, I was annoyed because he was just gonna worm his way out again and... Oh, shit! The Sentinels celebrate, and Thera has a rousing speech, and I don't care because all of these characters are already dead, and I doubt we're gonna see them again anyway, except maybe in a DLC or something. And then we see the awful truth. The Doomslayer floats above hell itself, and he's just staying there to kill more demons. He's just gonna do that now. Probably until the events of Doom 2016. What else would he be doing? Good game, fun as fuck. Got me pumped up, got me into a rabid kill frenzy. It doesn't miss. Sure, there's some weirdness and it's probably a little too easy, but go play on Pandemonium or something, or set all those sliders for maximum pain. Fair enough.